What's he doing? Oh man, he took the ankle of Chris Adams while Edward Falk was distracted by Taylor and Steiner on the outside of the ring. Edward Falk down for the count. Sting hooks the leg and secures the 3 count. Terry Taylor on the outside of the ring, still fighting with Steiner. He thinks they won the match. He was distracted just like Falk was. What a match. How in the world could Edward Falk ever keep up with it? It looks like Sting and Steiner are the new tag team champions.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Universal Wrestling Federation. You've just seen some footage of Rick Steiner and Sting winning the UWF Tag Team Championship. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Ross, and welcome to another exciting hour of the Universal Wrestling Federation. In this hour, you're going to see some tremendous matches, and UWF Commissioner John Ayers, after hearing the situation last week involving Terry Taylor and gentleman Chris Adams, the top 10 rankings having such a big bearing on who will wrestle Big Bubba Rogers for the heavyweight championship, has signed for this hour. Terry Taylor will wrestle Chris Adams in a UWF contention match. We will have that match in the hour. Plus, you will see the new UWF heavyweight champion, Big Bubba Rogers, take on the sensational rookie Steve Cox from the University of Tulsa. You'll also see in the hour the awesome Steve Dr. Death Williams, and he will go against Wild Bill Irwin. This is going to be another tremendous hour. We'll show you that special match with Magnum TA, and don't forget that right here next week on the program, Magnum TA will be sitting at ringside with me, providing color commentary. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iceman will be making his way to the ring momentarily. Now let's go up to the ring. Coming to the ring, it'll be the Iceman going against Jeff Rates here in our first live match here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. Iceman Parsons walking around the ring. I hope that he will soon enter the ring. He likes to talk, he likes to walk. The Iceman, one of the men that has certainly had a change of heart in the sport of professional wrestling, and is certainly no favorite of the fans here at our national television taping. Iceman Parsons has entered the ring. We are waiting on the sound of the bell. The bell has sounded, and Jeff Rates, there's a good look at that fine young athlete. He'll be going against Iceman Parsons. Stay tuned in this segment. You will see that great matchup. Magnum TA, and we're so excited, ladies and gentlemen, that Magnum will be back with us live here next week, providing some color commentary. I'm very excited about Magnum's return to the UWF on our program, and he will be with us live right here. We hope that you will be with us as well. The Iceman being reversed by Jeff Rates, and Rates now with a wrist lock into the arm bar. The wrestling world is abuzz. A lot of controversy, a lot of phone calls and telegrams in the last 7 days regarding Big Bubba Rogers as the new UWF heavyweight champion. Iceman Parsons complaining that his hair was pulled. I happen not to see that from my vantage point, but be that as it may, ladies and gentlemen, Iceman Parsons and Jeff Rates. And our first event here on the Universal Wrestling Federation, Angel Muhammad will be with us in the hour. We'll hear from Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. We'll see Steve Dr. Death Williams in action against Wild Bill Irwin. That should be a great battle. As the Iceman now taking over on Jeff Rates. Oh! Iceman, the southpaw from St. Louis, with that left-hand clothesline. And it found a home in the chest of Jeff Rates, the young man from Dallas. Snap suplex. Iceman King Parsons. Lateral press. And you heard the Iceman. He can pick it up. He said, I'm not through with him. Iceman King Parsons with a headbutt. Parsons really working over Jeff Rates here in the Universal Wrestling Federation. In the last several minutes, it has been all Iceman. Iceman now on the second rope. Clothesline off the second rope. Iceman King Parsons. Devastating maneuver. The Iceman, the victor.
Your winner, the Iceman King Parsons.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back in time and take a quick look at one of the greatest athletes ever produced in the Universal Wrestling Federation. Here's a special look at Magnum TA.
Here's the fighting heart of Magnum. Hip toss, and the feet of Mr. Wrestling really caught Carl Fergie in the kidney area, and Carl Fergie is writhing in pain. There's nobody to count the fall. Carl Fergie writhing in pain as he caught the feet of Mr. Wrestling from that hip toss into his kidney area. Mr. Wrestling, too, the new protege of Mr. Wrestling, coming to try to help his partner and his mentor. There is that Mr. Wrestling pulling out that metal object that he places on his knee. That is one of the first time we saw it in Mid-South is when he defeated the Junkyard Dog for that title. But Magnum TA got out of the way. He caught his own partner, and 1, 2, 3, and pandemonium at the Fairgrounds Pavilion here in Tulsa. And look at that crowd as Magnum TA has electrified everybody, and the long-sought quest, the North American title, is back in his hands. He is the new champion.
Mom's magic meatloaf is weighing on you like a ton of bricks. Send the bubbles of Alka-Seltzer to the rescue, because speed is what you need to lift the heaviness off your stomach and relieve your heartburn and pounding headache fast. So for fast relief, let the bubbles rise to the occasion.
Alka-Seltzer to the rescue.
Try new extra strength Alka-Seltzer. More of what you take Alka-Seltzer for.
You, which medicated pad holds more cleansers?
Stridax.
Wrong. Now, which pad holds more cleansers?
Oxy. Yeah, but I need a maximum strength pad.
Some people never learn.
Pete Rose just got tough.
Because now I use Tegrin medicated shampoo. Head and Shoulders, not tough enough. Tegrin's 4 times tough on all 4 major causes of flaking and itching. Get 4 times tough with Tegrin.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first to my left from Vero Beach, Florida at 232 pounds, Terry Taylor. Also introducing from England at 234 pounds, gentleman Chris Adams. This match for the UWF title contention bout, 1 fall or television time remaining.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, when Commissioner John Ayers was hired, he was hired to sign the best matches that he possibly could, and matches pitting great athletes, and matches that had a bearing on the top 10. This match definitely a top 10 contention match between the 2 partners, the 2 former UWF Tag Team Champions. Both of them have expressed an interest, especially Terry Taylor, in single competition. I tried to talk to both Adams and Taylor last week here on the program, if you were with us. Chris seemed to want to talk about the tag team situation. However, Terry Taylor was not as receptive. But this match has nothing to do with a tag team situation. But it has everything to do with the top 10 and the UWF title contention. Both men, by securing a victory, or either man more specifically, by securing a victory here, will move up substantially in the top 10 rankings and closer to a match with the awesome champion. 6'8", 350 pounds, Big Bubba Rogers is the object. He's the target. And General Skandar Akbar, what comments last week? I was totally shocked when I went to the dressing room and there stood the General, and alongside him, Big Bubba Rogers. So that is the ultimate goal and the reason that these two men are wrestling. UWF title contention match. It was just tremendous seeing Magnum TA in action in that match from the past. That young man has overcome so much adversity, and we hope all the fans will be with us to welcome him back as our color analyst on the UWF program, and he will be here live next week. Also, returning from this international tour, Ted DiBiase back with us next week as well. Now back to the match at hand. Should be just a classic scientific matchup. Adams and Taylor, even though they are friends and regular tag team partners, still are athletes. They're competitors. Great move by Chris Adams. And I would have to say at this point in time that Chris Adams has the upper hand in this match. It is not scored on a point system. What counts is a pinfall, a disqualification, or a countout. We're not on a point system here, but if we were, I would have to think that Chris Adams would be ahead on points at this time. Both men have their strong allegiance of fans. Terry Taylor, the longtime established star in the UWF, and this one is getting heated. Chris Adams also overcoming a lot of adversity. Ooh, Taylor tripped over Adams. Taylor tripped over Chris Adams and went out through the second and third rope to the concrete floor. Adams very concerned about Taylor. Taylor may have torn a knee there. Adams outside. Taylor, I guess out of instinct, defending himself. Hopefully he's not hurt his knee, but Adams helping Terry back in the ring. The referee was counting. A 10 count is the ultimate. A 10 count results in the count out. Chris Adams not aggressing Terry Taylor here. Both men shaking hands, but I think Taylor could very easily have sustained some knee damage to that left knee. He's favoring it somewhat after landing outside, but Chris Adams quick to jump out and help Terry back into the ring. Nice overhand wrist lock by Terry Taylor, and he's really wrenching it in. Taylor working his leg to keep it from getting stiff. He's lucky he's back in the ring because he really had a crash as referee Edward Falk surveying the action in this very important matchup. One fall or television time remaining here. We will be taking a commercial break to notify our network affiliates. In a few moments, we'll keep you abreast of that, and that will occur in 60 seconds. Remember, this matchup, UWF title contention. Taylor and Adams, tag team partners, but they're also as single competitors involved in the top 10. Commissioner John Ayers. You weren't with us last week. The UWF has a new commissioner. The starting offensive left guard of the San Francisco 49ers. 2 Super Bowl rings, John Ayers. Power slam by Taylor. Taylor going for the elbow. Adams moves out of the way, and a great arm drag takedown by Chris Adams. Fighting from underneath, Taylor back to a base. Boy, this is a great matchup. The momentum has changed, and this crowd really it's hard to determine. There's the look, the fans very much into this one. People sitting on the edge of their seat because they're seeing a tremendous matchup between the UWF's finest. Great action. And this is the Universal Wrestling Federation. And thank you very much for being with us on the most exciting hour, bar none, in professional wrestling today. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more UWF action and this tremendous matchup after this timeout.
If money were no object, anyone could afford to pay $100 for this French rope bracelet. It weighs over 10 grams and is layered entirely in 14-karat gold. And so is this golden nugget bracelet. What would you expect to pay for these two glamorous bracelets? Because you are watching this TV station now, you could own both for just $19.95. And if you're one of the first 1,000 callers, you'll also get these matching neck chains, the French rope plus the heavyweight nugget at no extra cost. You'll get the French rope chain plus bracelet, the golden nugget chain plus bracelet, all layered in genuine 14-karat gold for just $19.95 on our 30-day money-back guarantee. And you'll get this nugget pendant free, even if you return everything else for refund. But you must call quickly. Here's how to order.
2 orders and $19.95 plus $3.50 shipping and handling to Designer Chains, Box 20, Department R, Los Angeles, California. Or use your Visa or MasterCard by calling 1-800-826-8880. No COD orders accepted.
Thanks for staying with us, everybody. We'll have a lot more wrestling action coming your way in just a few moments. This is the first opportunity that we have had to speak with Rick Steiner and Sting, the new UWF Tag Team Champions, on Sunday night, April 12th in Atlanta's Omni. Before a tremendous crowd, Rick Steiner and Sting became the new UWF Tag Team Champions, defeating Terry Taylor and gentleman Chris Adams. Now, even though the conclusion of that match was mired in controversy somewhat.
Stop. Don't even start. I don't want to hear anything about controversy. There's no controversy involved.
You feel like a clear-cut decision?
Clear-cut. Under Eddie's direction, we did it all by ourselves. We put the red blood cells were moving right here, and we were just ready to go. The wimps didn't stand a chance.
Well, gentlemen, I'll say this.
Simple.
I have predicted on many occasions on this program, stardom for you two gentlemen, you're in tremendous condition, as everyone can see, the prime of your career. You, sir, an All-American from the University of Michigan, have never looked better.
I tell you what, Jim Ross, I tell you what, the people have been waiting to see some real men with some real champions. And now they're going to see some real wrestlers with their real champions. And it's about time we're going to take these belts and we're going to take on anybody you can bring for us. Because it's time, and it's our time.
Ted DiBiase and Doc, history. Who else was there? Fantastics, history. Chris and Terry, history.
Chris and Terry, they do deserve a rematch. You guys, I'm sure, are willing to give them a rematch.
It doesn't matter who it is. You get the Freebirds out here, you get Devastation Incorporated out here. I don't care who it is. Terry and Chris, come on back, because we're ready whenever you are. Anybody. Everybody's history. You're looking at a new set of champions with beef involved.
That's right, baby.
I'm sure you gentlemen then are obviously predicting a long title reign for the pair of you, since you're both in your early 20s, the youngest UWF Tag Team Champions ever.
That's right. We got Eddie Gilbert behind us. There ain't no stopping us.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you hear it. They are indeed awesome, and they are the new Tag Team Champions.
Right there.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. This is a phenomenal matchup. Count of 2. Taylor and Adams. And they have exchanged wrestling holds. They have exchanged strategies. And now it's Terry Taylor, but Adams inside cradle. The referee down for the count, and he's got a 2.5. This match, a UWF title contention matchup, Terry Taylor and gentleman Chris Adams. Yes, they are tag team partners. They're both great single competitors, however. The match signed to see who will move up the ladder in the top 10 in single competition. Taylor goes for the knee, and that is the knee that took the punishment on the floor earlier in this matchup. And now Chris Adams, that's a legal maneuver. The flat of the foot, it's not illegal. Some of the fans don't like it, but it is legal. Taylor writhing in pain on the canvas, and he's reaching for the ropes. But Chris Adams going for the figure 4. Adams going for the figure 4, but Taylor quickly grabs the ropes, and that will break the hold. Smart strategy by Terry Taylor. And it's been a long time since I've seen a crowd into the match like they are this one. Taylor's knee has taken the punishment. Adams single leg pickup attempted by Taylor with the elbow to the back of the head.
Taylor with a vicious elbow to the back of Chris Adams' head. And this match is as hard a fought contest as we've seen. Reversal by Adams. Double cup, pinning predicament. Then a count of 2. Near fall. Adams reverses Taylor with a suplex, and this could be all for Terry Taylor right here. Adams reversing the suplex. Headbutt. Both men feeling it. Both men down. What a battle. Where else but the Universal Wrestling Federation will you see athletes of this caliber in this type of battle? It is a phenomenal contest. Belly-to-back suplex. The referee is there, and Taylor is out. A near fall. People are standing. People are sitting on the edge of their seat. Forearm. That's a legal maneuver. These men are competitors. They're athletes. They're professional athletes. They're competing as hard as they can. High elevation. Chris Adams elevating Terry Taylor in the lights. Oh, what a knee lift. And I don't remember this match. 1 fall on television. Time remaining. Standing vertical suplex. 1, 2, and a kick out. Another near fall. Taylor catches Adams coming off the ropes with that kick. Back to their feet. Taylor goes for a vicious elbow. Double clothesline. A double clothesline. Chris Adams out on the table, right near us. Adams came sprawling out on the table here into these metal chairs. He came right in my lap. Adams out on the floor right here beside us. The referee is counting Terry Taylor out there. Taylor's pushing Adams back in the ring a little rough there. But wait a minute, is Taylor going to make it back? Taylor taking his time. They got to ring the bell. They're calling for the bell. I don't think Taylor made it back in.
The winner of the match, Chris Adams.
Terry Taylor was not back in the ring at the 10 count. He got back in the ring a little slow. He did not make the 10 count. Terry Taylor is livid. Terry Taylor is livid. Adams came right out on our table and crashed into these steel chairs. Taylor came out to help him back in. I thought it was a little rough, but he got him back in. But Taylor is livid. I've never seen Taylor this animated, but Chris Adams is the winner with a count out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get this settled down, but right now, let's go to a videotape interview. General Skandar Akbar had this to say about Big Bubba Rogers.
When you go out with that lackadaisical attitude and that complacency and devastation, you get your walking papers. That should explain it for the one-man gang. You got a little lazy gang, and I don't tolerate it, and you know it. And as for Big Bubba, I paid a big premium because he's a big, nasty, diabolical individual. And I'm going to serve notice from here on out, whether it be Dr. Death or Ted Debussy or anybody else that wants to cast their hat in a circle. I will gladly oblige. Now, if it's long green this man needs, I can supply it. As I've said before, devastation is still #1. It amazes me at my managerial genius, because I'm always one step ahead of everybody else in this business. The General and the Godfather tells you something, you go to the bank. and this man's going to make a lot of trips to the bank.
He's the new champion, General. I'd like to ask him right here now how it feels, Big Bubba, to be the...
Big Bubba. I'll do the talking for Big Bubba. No trouble. The big man from Louisville is going to do a little havoc wreaking all across the UWF. And that doesn't go only for Dr. Death and Teddy. Anybody else, the American Dream, or anybody else that wants to sign opposite of that dotted line, I'll gladly oblige, because Devastation has the meanest, the nastiest man, I'll emphasize, M-A-N, walking the face of the earth today. And when he gets in that squared circle, people, you're going to remember Big Bubba, no trouble.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Universal Wrestling Federation. The music will bring to the ring the new UWF Heavyweight Champion. He's 6'8", 350 pounds, and he will be led to the ring by the infamous General Skandar Akbar, who said the one-man gang was complacent. And with the challenge of Ted DiBiase and the awesome Steve Dr. Death Williams, and he needed a young man, a fighter, not a wrestler, but a fighter, to turn back the challenge to keep that heavyweight championship belt. And Steve Cox, the sensational rookie, will have the challenge of his life as General Skandar Akbar proudly holds the Universal Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. And remember, Big Bubba Rogers is not a wrestler. He is a brawler. He is a fighter. 6'8", 350, General Skandar Akbar, conversing with the crowd at ringside. Big Bubba Rogers. He has to be the biggest man that the rookie Steve Cox has ever gone in the ring with. And Cox with a hard forearm that barely moved Bubba. Right hand to the head. Bubba's a street fighter. He's a mercenary. He doesn't claim to be a wrestler. Ooh, Bubba Rogers buried that knee to the ribs of young Steve Cox. And Steve Cox, the protege of the awesome Steve Dr. Death Williams. Right. Oh, good Lord, what a clothesline. What a clothesline. And that almost took Cox out of his boots. And Bubba Rogers ripping at the face of the handsome youngster from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Cox was ready to sign this match with UWF Commissioner John Ayers. He's got a spotless one-loss record. Big Bubba with a backbreaker. At this point in time, Bubba Rogers is much too much for the young rookie. General Skandar Akbar likes what he is seeing. Big Bubba Rogers with a knee lift. The man that has been the bodyguard of Jim Cornette. He has done mercenary work for J.J. Dillon, but now he is under the employ. He is a hired assassin of General Skandar Akbar. What a kick right to the face. This man has uncanny agility. At 6'8", 350 pounds, he does things that no one ever dreamed a man his size could ever do in a squared circle. Look at that strength. Picking up Steve Cox, who weighs at 250, but he looks like a mighty small man. And Cox trying to fight back. He's not a quitter. He's trying to fight back. But Cox giving all he's got. But will it be enough against Big Bubba Rogers, the new UWF heavyweight champion? It's all Big Bubba. It's a butt kick. This man is awesome. And the roar of the crowd. And he is brought to the ring. Steve Dr. Death Williams. Bubba looking at Dr. Death. Look at the expression on Dr. Death's face. But Steve Cox, Dr. Death there at ringside to keep an eye on his protege. Skandar Akbar better get out of the ring. Cox has been kicked right in the face. Big Bubba and Dr. Death sizing each other up. Dr. Death pulling Cox. Cox could have his, I don't know, his jaw has been broken. But he is laying prone from that tremendous kick by Big Bubba. Dr. Death will not leave Steve Cox. Akbar and Big Bubba like vultures waiting. There is the man. There is the man. And he is standing near. He will not leave his protege because he knows how Akbar and Bubba operate. And Bubba looking very cautiously at the dock as Dr. Death has taken Steve Cox out of the ring. Cox is hurt. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. We're going to get out of this situation. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Ice cream is scrumptious.
Ice cream?
Oh, and it crunches.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Universal Wrestling Federation. In just a few moments, you're going to see for the first time Chavo Guerrero and Savannah Jack in tag team action. Don't forget, right here next week, the program ringside, Magnum TA will be with us live here next week on the program. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a tremendous hour still to come. I see Chris Adams here at ringside, and quite obviously, Chris, I'm going to invite you to come on in. We have a match scheduled here in just a few moments. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Mr. Ross, I'm very, very sorry to interrupt. People, I'm very, very sorry to interrupt, but I'm a little bit upset. Now, the reason is everybody here and everybody watching on TV saw exactly what happened, and I wasn't pleased. Okay, Terry and I, we had a double knockout. The referee started counting us both out, and unfortunately, Terry came, he tried to help me back in the ring, and he was counted out himself, and I'm very, very sorry. Will Mr. Jim Ross strike that completely off all the records? I do not want to win like that.
Well, I don't have the authority, first of all. That's Commissioner John Ayers' responsibility, but I'm sure that if you're not satisfied with the decision, that John will be more than happy to talk with you and Terry about signing perhaps a rematch if Terry was even interested.
Well, that's the other reason that I came down here. Like I say, I am not satisfied with what happened. I would like a rematch. I would like a fair and square rematch next week, if possible.
Well, next week, obviously you're not very pleased with the decision, and Terry Taylor.
I don't want to win like that. I'm sorry. I realize that you came out to try and help me back in the ring. I'm really sorry for what happened to you. I want to shake your hand like a man, and let's hope that we can have a rematch next week on television.
You're saying after what happened, you're willing to give me another match? Now, you won that one, you know. But you're not going to take the victory like that.
I do not, in my mind, I didn't win that. I do not want to take that as a win. Shake my hand like a man, and let's have a rematch next week.
Sounds like a fair deal to me, T. Start it all over. That decision, even though it'll be in the record book, I'm sure that the commissioner will sign the match. Quite obviously, I know the fans here would like to see the rematch between Terry Taylor and gentleman Chris Adams here on the program next week. What's your answer?
Well, I wouldn't take a victory like that. I think you're a hell of a man to give me a rematch. See you next week.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the match, if you're in agreement, the fans want it, I'm sure it will be signed here next week. Gentlemen Chris Adams and Terry Taylor for the rematch. And we've got General Skandar Akbar's giant Angel Muhammad, Dr. Death, and much more in the hour. Don't you go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Universal Wrestling Federation. The music will bring to the ring Mike Reed's opponent, the giant Angel Muhammad, with General Skandar Akbar, and I have been joined at ringside by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
That's right, the Universal Wrestling Federation television champion. Everybody out there has been talking about champion this and champion that, and we've got a brand new UWF heavyweight champion with Big Bubba Rogers. Everybody's rocking and rolling. Everybody's feeling good. I don't want anybody to forget about Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
There's a bell that signals action here on the Universal Wrestling Federation.
The best there is. The best there is. I'm just glad to be a part of it, Jimmy Ross.
Angel Muhammad taking over on Mike Reed. And this one here. Let's go! This man is big, Eddie. He's 6'7", 325.
He's big, but he's as big as Big Bubba Rogers. Everybody right now, everybody in the dressing room, all the people right now are talking about Big Bubba Rogers being the new champion. What he just did to Steve Cox out here. What does it hold in store for Dr. Death Steve Williams? Maybe Ted DiBiase now. And one other thing, don't forget about Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
I'm anxious to get a medical report on Steve Cox and Dr. Death and Bubba Rogers. Boy, what a stare down we saw there.
That's what, I've never seen anything like that before, Jim. That's what I'm talking about.
Mike Reed, those fighting back.
Not for long. Look at the big Angel. That's the kind of people. Akbar's got those sadistic people in his army. That's wherever he got Big Bubba from, and like I know where he got him from. And that's how he finds those people. He's getting them from the right people, the sadistic type, those big, grueling, overpowerful people.
But Bubba Rogers is not a wrestler. He's a street fighter. That's the deal. He's an animal.
It's going to take another animal. Here's an animal right here. Look at the pile driver. That'll be it. That will be it.
Angel Muhammad.
Your winner, Angel Muhammad.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Gilbert, you've got to have some comments. This has been a tremendous hour as we see him leaving. What are your thoughts thus far?
My thoughts right now, Jim, is what is going to happen. With the Universal Heavyweight Champion now, Big Bubba Rogers, and he is surrounded by the biggest contention. If one-man gang is even man enough to ever even come back and want a rematch, well, when Dr. Death finally steps in the ring with him, what's going to happen? When Ted DiBiase arrives next week, what are his thoughts going to be when he finds out who the new champion is? But let's don't forget, to get there, you got to go through this. And I am the reigning UWF television champion, no matter whoever anybody says, John Ayers or anybody. I've heard he's the new commissioner now. Doesn't matter. I'm the television champion. Ted DiBiase, Steve Williams, and Big Bubba Rogers, you and Akbar. I don't care, Akbar. You got a great man there, but I think Hot Stuff and what I've got up here is a little bit better, Jim Ross.
Well, that's Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert's opinion, ladies and gentlemen. And when we come back,
I'm the best.
You're going to see Steve Dr. Death Williams against Wild Bill Irwin after this exciting announcement from the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Look fast, because...
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a lot more wrestling action coming your way in just a few moments. Please stay with us. Right now, I want to take a couple of minutes to talk to Steve Dr. Death Williams because, Doc, quite obviously the biggest news in professional wrestling today is that the heavyweight champion of the world is Big Bubba Rogers, 6'8", 350 pounds plus, and I know I've said it, you're the uncrowned champion. That's what a lot of people are saying. What's your thoughts on the championship?
Well, you know, Jim, I think a lot of athletes and a lot of people out there know what I'm going through. You know, I've cut the weight, I've run down the road, I put in the road work, I've lifted the weights, and it's my turn to be the world champion. And you know, this is the toughest place, UWF, and Bubba Jones, or Big Bubba, the man who just came in here and took away the UWF belt. Well, you know something, Jim? A lot of things go through the head when things have big changes around it. And you know, you have to get the films. You got to put the films together. You got to put the VCR together. You got to check out the guy. But you know, Bubba, this is one man you haven't seen in the ring and you haven't gone against. Because I will be the world champion. That is my goal, and that's the one I'm striving for, Jim Ross. And whatever it takes, Bubba, whatever it takes, wherever it is, it doesn't matter. You've got to go through me and only me, the man of UWF, Dr. Death.
Ladies and gentlemen, those comments of Steve Dr. Death Williams, quite obviously, Doc, you're in tremendous condition. This man is 6'8", 350 pounds, but more importantly, he's got General Skandar Akbar now at ringside. That's something else to consider.
That's right, Jim. You know, I can't forget the old Skandar Akbar sitting in the back door there, sitting in his old little crop, with his crop duster in his hand, or whatever you want to call it. I know Skandar Akbar's in my back, but I guarantee you, Jim, I've prepared myself. I've worked hard, and I've worked extra hard to go for the world champion, the UWF. You know where it is. It's the toughest wrestling ever.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Ross with you at ringside here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. And this crowd comes to their feet because they know on its way to the ring the most awesome athlete in the UWF today, and perhaps in all of professional sports. He was number 76 for the Oklahoma Sooners, but he's number 1 in the hearts of the fans in professional wrestling. The good doctor, Steve Dr. Death Williams, 276 from Norman, Oklahoma. And Wild Bill Irwin, minus General Skandar Akbar at ringside. And if Irwin thinks he's going to intimidate that man, you're far, far from being accurate, my good man. Dr. Death Steve Williams and Wild Bill Irwin, and it's starting out early here. Dr. Death with the atomic smash, and that'll send you to the chiropractor. Right hand. The doctor is in great shape. He is in rare form, and this crowd is captivated by the big man. Dr. Death quick for the cover. Count of 1. Bill Irwin is a tough man. 275, 280-pound range. But Dr. Death Steve Williams, as I mentioned, against Bill Irwin, there is no General Skandar Akbar at ringside. Now perhaps he must be 6', 7, or 8 like Bubba Rogers, or perhaps you've got to be like the Angel of Death, well over 6', 7, and what a shoulder tackle. There's the man. He is the main man. Dr. Death and Bubba Rogers. Whoa, what a collision that would be. How hard will that one be to sign with Commissioner John Ayers? John Ayers, the commissioner, will have his hands full dealing with General Skandar Akbar, but he is certainly the man that can do it. Don't forget, next week, Magnum TA live here on the program. Ted DiBiase live here on the program next week. And the big rematch between Terry Taylor and gentleman Chris Adams here on UWF Wrestling as Dr. Death with that brute strength and a right hand. Irwin going for the hip toss, but Dr. Death blocked it. The doctor is in magnificent condition. The 4-time Wrestling All-American for the University of Oklahoma. A man that took Olympic gold medal winner Bruce Bumgardner to the limits. A man that defeated the Pan American Games winner. A man that defeated so many athletes around this world from every nation as an amateur. And now he's doing it as a professional. Oh, Irwin showing his experience. Catching Dr. Death with an elbow. There's a body slam by Wild Bill Irwin. Vicious elbow drop by the big man from the state of Minnesota. Irwin ramming Dr. Death's head into that turnbuckle. This is another great Universal Wrestling Federation battle. There is no tougher alliance, no tougher federation in the world today than the UWF. And Dr. Death rocks the turnbuckles right above us here at ringside. And this is where you need to be, right at ringside. The best seat in the house. But we certainly appreciate you being with us at home, watching the UWF. The UWF Stars in Jacksonville, Florida, May 22nd. Chicago, May 24th, and the magnificent Superdome on June 13th. We'll have more on those great events in upcoming weeks. Lateral press, and Dr. Death literally powers out. This match is one fall or TV time remaining. I will keep you abreast of the time as I receive it. Dr. Death looking up at Wild Bill Irwin, much like that look he gave Big Bubba Rogers. And maybe he sees General Skandar Akbar in Wild Bill Irwin. Maybe Akbar didn't want to come to ringside because of Dr. Death. A lot of questions need to be answered, and it's fist and fire in the squared circle. Boom! Down goes Wild Bill Irwin. And the crowd here on the Universal Wrestling Federation stands as the Doctor standing dropkick. He is a wrestling machine. This man is an awesome wrestling machine. Oh, Irwin with those long rider boots. Those long rider boots caught Dr. Death right in the face. Boom! Football tackle! Number 76! Number 76! And the fans know what's coming! Irwin's up! Here comes the Stampede! The Oklahoma Stampede!
Your winner, Steve Dr. Death Williams.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams. What a phenomenal victory. He is awesome. And listen to this crowd. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about out of time. I don't know exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just about out of time here. We have other standby matches. This has been one of the most phenomenal hours in UWF history. Last week, the crowning of Big Bubba Rogers as the new UWF champion. We saw Bubba Rogers injure rookie Steve Cox. Dr. Death and Bubba looking at each other. Then you have seen Dr. Death taking his wrath out on Wild Bill Irwin. It's been an unbelievable hour. Terry Taylor, gentleman Chris Adams, right here next week. The big rematch, I'm sure it will be signed. We'll have it for you here next week. And also, on a much more positive note, I will be joined right here at ringside by my longtime friend and a man that started his career right here in the Universal Wrestling Federation, Magnum TA, will be with us live here next week on the program. Ted DiBiase will be back. The Adams-Taylor rematch, it's going to be another tremendous hour. Thank you so very much for being with us here on the UWF. I'm Jim Ross. Have a great week, and we'll see you right here next week on the Universal Wrestling Federation.